Hello everyone! Welcome to Tavern Talk. I am here for another late night, cozy vibes, Thursday post-work stream. I may my entire desk with boxes, but it's fine. Alright, late night, cozy vibes. I'm having a good time. I hope everybody else is having a good time. It's been rough, but you know what? We're just gonna stay positive. Enjoy our silly tavern game that makes us happy. Alright. Let's hope I can make it through more than one day today. I did remember my mask, but I do need to buy more. So let me just write myself a big note. Buy your masks. That makes a huge difference at work. Hydrate, sippy sippies! And hello, Lupin Lieber. Alright, Soul. You can make it. Only second half of work to go. You can do the thing. I believe in you. Oh, new characters. What voices do I want to give these guys? I knew we took the right path. Who said we can't road trip all by ourselves? Oh, these are from the Monster Prom, the Monster Road Trip people. This is cool. I actually have this game on my to play on stream list. Technically, I don't think I own Monster Road Trip yet, but I have the Monster Prom and Monster Camp. Liam did, I think. I think that was perhaps a rhetorical question. Whoa, dude, didn't see you there. What's up? The sky, last time I checked. It better be. It'd be very confusing otherwise. Very true. Is this your crib? It is indeed. Welcome to the Wayfarer's Inn. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Pollygeist and the goodest of boys, Scott Howell. And together we are the Prankmasters. With a Z. Pleasure to meet you. I'm your humble innkeeper. Awesome. What drinks do you serve? Oof, yeah. We're in desperate need of some booze. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I don't serve booze. What? Why? The age rating system is quite harsh on such things. And I've got to keep the place open somehow. I feel ya. We've all got some burdens to carry. What else have you got? Magical beverages that can enhance your abilities. It's even rumored they might influence your fate. Whoa, that's so cool, dude. Like an influencer, but for fate. A fate-fluencer. That would go so hard on Momentagram. What's a Momentagram? We should hook you up with Milo. They can explain it better. Innkeep, please influence our fate before I get bored. I'm feeling incredibly depleted from this weird as fuck AF trip. Sounds like you're in dire need of some stamina. Though, I think you could use something a bit stronger than usual. Dope! Give me your strongest potion. Technically, never mind. Alright, so 3 sword. So we got a Sailor's Courage. I think it's going to be our choice. Ooh, but I've got Southern Brawler too. Yeah, let's go with Southern Brawler. And I think I need to use a thing for him. Yeah. So, defense, crown, sword. Frozen pine cone. Not. Oh, it's 1 and 1 and 1. Got it. See, this is why I draw the recipe.
Charge complete.
A funky drink for a funky gal. Let's see. Whoa, this is good. Very good. So good, I don't even miss the booze. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll take that as a compliment. Try this, Scott. Whew, that tickles. Just like pickle juice. So, Scott Howell, would you like a drink as well? Nah. But you could tell us where we are and what cool things we can check out around here. You're in Zenith, in the Republic of Asia. Are you lost? Nope. At least not as long as we're having a blast. You do seem slightly out of this world, though. Ooh. Maybe you're onto something, Potion Seller. I'm not... You know, we were road tripping, supposed to be the trip of our lives, when something weird happened. We were about to take the next turn at a crossroads, and then whoosh! A portal opened up, and I couldn't hit the brakes in time. Yeah, we drove straight through and ended up on a gravel road. Everything seemed different and dated. So dated. Dated? Duh! I've seen and done plenty of weird stuff, but this is a different kind of weird. So weird. No cars, only carriages and stuff? Cars? Yeah. What are cars? Those things that go vroom. I'm afraid I've got no clue what you're talking about. I don't think cars exist here, Scott. Now it makes sense that my phone has no signal either. What makes sense? We landed in the past. Whoa. Does that mean we time traveled? Yeah. That's so cool. I doubt time travel is possible. It sounds more like you participated in inter-universal travel. Which is rare, but happens occasionally. Wait. So you're saying is we are super special and lucky to have participated in such an event? Likely. Dope. This is a sign, Scott. The universe sent us here to wreak havoc. Awoo! The Prank Masters will strike again! Soon. After a nap. Can we take a nap, Polly? Good idea. Hey, funky magic mystery pal, you better get to writing that tour guide. I'll see what I can do. Good. Do you have a room for us? Of course. I've got a room upstairs. Just ignore the scratching sounds and leaking water by the iron door. Don't worry. We've seen worse than that. We've got plenty of experience with sea monsters. Always hyped to meet more. See you in a bit, Inky. Come on, Scott. Hey, Ducky! Maybe I should add some do not enter sounds. Glad to see you, Baya. Thank you for having me. Now that... Is your friend's dispute still ailing you? Still so lonely. 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 I came to ask, have you sent someone to help my friends? I did, actually. You did? Yes, I sent Fable and Aura to solve the dispute. Ooh. Then let's hope they will be friends again soon. So we can have tea parties again. And I can stop being lonely. Ooh. At least people are visiting my spa. That's good. Thank you for handing out my coupons. Did I hear spa? Yes. Doesn't that sound like something, Scott? Woo! I love spa things. Now, are you our tour guide, sweet ball creature? Tour guide? Do you want to visit my spa? Hi there, Foxos. I see you lurking. These two are Pollygeist and Scott Howell. They're currently looking for entertainment and a way back home. But entertainment first, obviously. It's getting incredibly boring here. No offense, funky magic mystery pal. None taken. Where is your home? In a portal. Or something. Yeah, we came through a portal, which in itself is pretty rad. But we've had the medieval tavern experience and all. It was good while it lasted, but it's time to move on. Move on to my spa. Something like that. Which makes me think, Baya, do you think you could help them find their way back home? Of course. You can do that? But first, you have to visit my spa. Nothing easier than that. I'm in need of a facial anyways. The air here is so dry. My bog water is especially moisturizing. Wait! Does that mean we get to go skinny dipping in some hot springs? Oh yes, absolutely. My hot springs are the best. Cool. So a pit stop at your spa and then a road trip back home? You joining us for the ride, sweet bog creature? Please say yes. We'll see. I'll first show you the portal and my spa. If you bring them to the portal, you could take a ride with them through it. Might help you with your loneliness. You think so? Yes. No one's lonely on a ride with the prank masters. I'll think about it. Which portal do you want to take? The one through Avalon, full of dreams and forests? Or the one through the Twilight Chasm, a place full of dread and weird fishies? Ooh, the Twilight Chasm sounds spooky. I love spooky. I love dreams. They're so weird. Like that one dream I had where I was my own dad. Where should I lead them, innkeeper? The portal to Avalon is just around the corner. Through the lush forests of the Ashen Grove. The way we came, not gonna lie, that's lame. But it's a quick way home. And full of dreams, Polly. Imagine how many pranks we could pull on sleeping people. That's not true. Amazing. Then it's settled. Can't wait to show you my mud masks. Can't wait to show you the world, sweet bog creature. My name is Baya. Then let's hit the road, Baya. Enjoy your trip and safe travels. Goodbye, potion seller. See ya. Goodbye, innkeeper. I'm glad Baya could find a little comfort in those peculiar visitors, at least. My name is Shiarra, and you're watching Ducky Fox. Like, subscribe, follow, and share for a ducking good time. Or I could just do this. Because I coded that myself. I'm excited to hear the story she'll tell when she gets back. That's true. I think it works still. If not, I'll reread it for you. Good evening, innkeeper. Good evening, Grace. Could I ask for a drink? Anytime. What can I get for you? I'm pretty spent. Do you have something that will keep my mind awake for a little longer? I should have something that can do just that. One moment. Alright, what kind of drink am I gonna make you? Brain. Mm. Brain speed. How you been, Ducky? Did that clip work for you, or do you need me to read it again? A drink for the mind and the soul. Enjoy. Thank you. This is just what I needed. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. I am, which also means I need to figure out what to do next. The possibilities are endless, but not boundless, so considerations are a complicated endeavor. Have you considered a break? Poke me about it on Telegram. I'll see if I can make you something later. I have. Say, innkeeper, if you had forever, what would you do with it? I've never thought about that before. I like being an innkeeper, so I could just keep doing this forever. It's relaxing and safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? I want to learn how to play the harp. Oh, why haven't you? No time, no muse, no talent. Or maybe I'm just waiting for the right moment. When will that moment come? I'm not sure. I just don't feel like the heart belongs to me right now. Let me know when it does. I'd love a concert. Will do. What would you like? What would you do with immortality? I would learn everything there is to learn. Every language, instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more. Have an infinite amount of tea parties. I'd come to those. I said, if you remind me on Telegram, maybe I can work something out for you later. But I don't want to shut down the stream to do that right now. When we were little, Hex would always make all the stuffed animals dance around our little tea table. We didn't have money for music boxes, so he just made up songs for them to dance to. He sang them to me. If I had the time, I would love to write down all these songs and invent dances for them. You should make time for that. It's your time, after all. And besides, while you don't have forever, you do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half. Not if you got the human side of the lifespan. Oh, that's less time. It is, but I'll make the most of it. What will you do next, then? I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about going to Asphodel, capital of Magracy. The Magracy? I've heard the libraries there are 60 stories tall and rivers float in the sky through the sky in an exuberant display of mana. Sounds like paradise for someone like you. Yes, but Hex really wants to stay here. He likes Phasia, Zenith, the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he'd like the bustle of it all. 1 second. You could just go without him. There's a Migratian embassy in Zephyr. Their teleportation is expensive, but reliable. I don't think he wants to go back to Zephyr either, and I won't make him. He could teleport himself then. He really shouldn't. It's quite a long distance, and he's always been awful at teleportation. He could take a ship. I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help make the distance acceptable to him. Yes, you hear an Artemis in the background. She was getting slightly impatient. Do you hear her tail clunking? Good girl. High five. Shake. Good girl. There you go. Oh no. Oh no. I guess treats for Ducky's dogs now. He's always going to follow me, no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations or funerals. You can just tell him you want to go alone. But then he'd be alone too. Just talk to him, Grace. I don't want to spend our time together fighting. I just don't want him to spend it mourning me either. You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends. I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower. Please do. I love those. See our new information for Grace. She's a half-elf, but she inherited the human lifespan, while Hex inherited the elven one. Grace is always reminded of her mortality, and it scares her. She doesn't want to take breaks because she feels like that would waste her precious time. She also doesn't like how Hex tries to shelter her. 42. You look good for 42. Did you hear the one about did you hear about the one on Morla near Dalwell? The one with the infamous Magrosian fugitive? The very same. It seems that this wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. I've always wanted to stop by for tea, but I didn't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. I wonder what he left behind. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinations and impossibilities. Couldn't you just teleport in to check? You can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected places all willy-nilly. You might end up trapped or on a whole nother plane. Okay, let's check my new rumor. This seems like they go together. You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard. Maybe. No one seems to know what happened to him, or who even he was. And no one seems interested in finding out either. Isn't that sad? A little. I don't want to disappear like that. You won't. I'll tell your story for as long as I'm around. How long is that? For as long as this world will bear me. You are very easy to bear. Thank you, Grace. Would you like to stay a little while? Please. I find your inn truly inspiring. I'll be here if you need a rubber duck. Ah! I think that's a coding joke from what I understand from my friend Krav, but I like it because I collect rubber ducks. Ducky will like it as well. There's a coding joke. Rubber ducking is when you talk to a rubber duck to bounce your ideas off of, apparently. Oh, Fable and Aura are back. Hiya, Innkeeper. Hiya, you two. A drink, please. Or two, actually. Sure thing. Actually, what name are we on right now? Well, Aura is still fine. Come on, that was a whole week ago. I was busy. Want to come up with a new one now, then? Can I come up with one? Sure. How about Kumo? I feel like you look like a Kumo. It fits. He is just as stealthy as a spider. I wouldn't say that. He is just as soft as a cloud. That's what I was thinking. I'm nothing like a cloud. Sounds like something a cloud would say. Our drinks. Can we get them now? Of course. What would you like? Something sweet. Bubbly, maybe? If you can find something right. If you can find something that, you know... Sure. I'll see if I can find the words you're looking for. Three charisma. No, he's too emo for that. He's probably gonna want the 1,000 wins again. Let's make him a Sunny Breeze instead. Alright. What do I... Oh, yeah, that's right. I do the feathers for this one. Oh, no. Yeah, he's way too emo for that. He's been very overwhelmed by Fable's bubbliness on their journey, would be my guess. Liquid charisma for those in need. Maybe you should try it then. Do you want to send it back? No, it's good. Glad to hear that. Fable, what can I get you? Maybe something that will make me feel like a cloud? Like I'm so light on my feet, I'm practically floating. I think I've got something for that. He's a wind spirit. Those wouldn't be really quite right. Okay. Fey crystal. You got very excited. The usual for the usual favorite. Thank you. It's delicious as usual. That's what I like to hear. I like the new hair, by the way. Oh, you too? Thank you. It looks really nice, right? Kumo braided it for me. He helped me calm down after we encountered the Margie Morgan. But I should probably start at the beginning, right? I'd appreciate that. Alright, so, what happened at the beginning? The ship to Boreas. Right. I was a bit worried about the journey we were embarking on. After all, the seas around Boreas are famously hard to traverse, with all the wild magic around it and all. But just before we left Zenith, we ran into Una in the midst of an arm wrestling match against Inako. We took the opportunity to ask her for advice. Thought maybe she'd traveled there before. You could have also asked me. She was closer. Right. Did she have any good advice? She did. With her help, we were able to avoid all the dangerous maelstorms, sea stacks, and iceberg elementals. That must have made for a very relaxing journey. It did. It was very inspiring, too. We were able to see the dancing, colorful auroras in the night sky as we drew closer. They were starless, but still breathtakingly gorgeous. I even started on a new song. It wasn't ready to be shared yet, though. I just wanted a sneak peek. Well, you should have snuck better. A new song? Can I hear it? It's not done yet. Thanks to Una, we made it to Boreas a lot faster than we had planned. We also docked far away from the typical explorer's route. It was completely abandoned by everything but nature, as if no one but us had been there before. Kind of exciting. Very adventurous, for sure. As we headed inland, we were quickly swallowed by the fog that engulfs almost the entire island. It moved in strange patterns, created unidentifiable forms within the mist that hungered for life. The thickets rustled as we walked by, whether moved by wind or creatures we couldn't tell. The trees were shaped strangely, with shimmering portals forming in their empty husks. Our own quiet breaths were often interrupted by shrill, shrieking sounds that seemed to come from right above us. It was almost idyllic. Or scary. It was mostly scary. I wouldn't have minded strolling around until we ran into something roaming the island, but it was a little cold, So, I found a local to ask for directions. While wandering around, we came across a clearing surrounded by tall trees. Or rather, one tree. All of them were connected, intertwined with each other. Through one of their twisted connections, a waterfall with no discernible origin was flowing into a small pond. And in its midst rested a nymph! A real nymph! Doing taxes? She was weaving flower crowns for the fish. She was beautiful, with long black hair and skin that glistened in the sunlight being reflected off the waterfall. Her eyes were like sparkling gemstones, and her smile was full of kindness. She was alright, but also the only person around. So, Fable asked her for directions? No, Fable asked her for everything but directions. Ha ha! I see I got your attention. I asked her for directions. She was very helpful. She even gave us a gift. A gift? That's sweet. She gave us earplugs against the Banshee's songs, so our bones wouldn't shatter. Very helpful. Did you offer to write her a jingle in return? I did! She said if we were to survive the encounter with the Banshee, I could come back and she'd think of what she needed a jingle for. She was thinking about setting up a dragonfly exhibition, so maybe for that. Who would she even advertise to? Frogs? And toads. The Banshee was our first priority. So, we stealthily made our way to the Lonesome Lagoon with earplugs in our ears. We mostly walked and talked about our favorite dragonflies. As we finally approached the Lonesome Lagoon, the thick mist enveloped us. It suddenly became so cold we could see our own ragged breaths. And then we heard it. A song filled with all the sorrow of the world compressed into a single note. It sounded really nice. There was so much emotion in that song. Sadness, longing, yearning, anger. We wanted to be polite and wait until she was done singing, but she just kept going, like tears that wouldn't stop. So I decided to be a little rude. I stepped forward and said hello. They said, "Hello, Banshee. I really like your song." That confused the Banshee so much that she stopped. She smiled, baring a row of deadly sharp teeth. She was very nice, actually. She asked if we wanted to steal from her lagoon. When we said no, she invited us to sing along. Did you? Of course! It was kind of fun. It was, and I thought, what better time to bring up the Mari Morgan but now? So I led with, "I bet you do this with your girlfriend all the time, right?" She suddenly looked at me with hatred and anger, and then just started screaming. I was very thankful for the earplugs at that moment. I think without them, my bones might have melted. That was our cue to leave, so I pulled Fable back into the thicket of the Barayan forest. Obviously, we couldn't just leave it at that failure, so we looked around for a peace offering. We found some spiky pink fruits with a pattern of little ghost tortoises on them. We thought she might like them. She liked them enough to stop screaming at us, and we sat down at the side of the lagoon to talk. It's beautiful, by the way. Right in the middle is a giant portal to the Twilight Chasm. It colors the water this deep, dark blue with swirling clouds of darkness within. There were bones floating in the lagoon, too. I almost brought one for your tavern. Why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I love bones. I'll keep that in mind for the future. The Banshee actually fished out some bones to fidget with. It stopped her from screaming every time she brought up the Mari Morgan. Or Marmor, as she calls her. Turns out the Mari Morgan has been ignoring all of her calls ever since the Banshee was crowned Gaia's scariest monster by Screech Magazine. She told us it carved a hole in their relationship, that it caused a lot of jealousy, and she was disappointed the Mari Morgan cared more about some stupid popularity contest than her. We asked her if she wanted to talk about it with the Mari Morgan herself, but she said she didn't need to apologize for being scary. She was very thankful she got to talk to us about it, though. She was holding it all in because she didn't want to burden Baya with all the drama. She even offered for us to spend the night at her nearby cave, which was really nice of her. Did you end up taking a nap at her lair? We thought about it, but it was filled to the brim with the riches of the dead, which was far too alluring to allow us to fall to the call of sleep. You found loot? You had my attention. What did you find? Gold, bones, skulls, jewels of all sizes, and a lute! It was broken, but I picked it up anyway. There was also a delicate silver mirror that had hearts carved all over it. Kuma recognized it as magical from its arcane markings. Melinus showed me them in some book the other day, when the wizard and Zoford showed us around his library. It was a mirror of far speech. It lets you speak to anyone on this plane, given that you've seen them before. So you called Melly? No, we called the Mari Morgan. Ah, that makes more sense. How did it go? Well, I had to be the one to make the call, since Kumo had never met her. And when her face appeared, all I would do was stare in horror as she gazed back at me. I felt like I was back in the Ashen Grove, leading adventurers to their doom, and So I took the mirror out of their hands. Her first words were threats of what she would do to us if we had dared to harm the Banshee. Of course we hadn't. That briefly calmed her down. Until I asked her why she wasn't here, if she was so worried about the Banshee's well-being. Avoiding the question, she and Ted talked to us about the state of the lagoon. She complained that it must be incredibly loud with all the tourists and whatnot. I assured her there were no tourists, at least none that were alive. So she asked what I was doing in the lair then. Honestly, I replied that the Banshee had offered us a place to stay in her cave. I quickly realized that I had picked the wrong thing to say. Her eyes started bleeding black ichor, and she began cursing us out in tongues. The mirror cracked under her gaze and started bleeding black water. It was terrifying. And then we were just supposed to sleep there, as if she couldn't crawl out of the mirror any second. After that happened, I thought that we shouldn't discuss our further plans in that cave. So I pulled Fable outside and we went for a walk. The nymph had mentioned this enchanted flower field where she collects flowers for the fish. So we went there, though thought it might be a good spot. It was a good spot, even though I couldn't stop shaking for a while, though the flowers really helped. Aw, little Kumo, growing up to be such a responsible, tender-hearted person. I knew you had it in you. As did not being alone. Was that when Kumo braided your hair? It was, yes. My hair kept falling in my face, and it was overwhelming me. So he sat me down and braided it away while I worked on rebuilding the lute. He said that some distraction would help. Talking also really helped. Even if I asked a lot of stupid questions. They weren't stupid, just curious. Did you have a favorite one? They asked where I learned to braid hair. That actually brought us further on our quest. How so? Well, I learned it from my mother. It's the only thing I feel I have left of her. It was her way of apologizing. She was never very good with words. It made me think. Sometimes people aren't very direct with what they mean. I have heard of that, yes. Like the Mari Morgan, she didn't seem angry about the Badgeon outdoing her in some fear pageant. She didn't even mention it once. She only got upset when she thought we had hurt the Banshee. Or when she thought we were tourists. Or when we said we were staying in that cave. Like she was jealous of something entirely different from some issue of Screech Magazine. We talked it through and decided we had to get the two of them to talk, face to face. Obviously, it would be difficult because of the distance, but I had taken the mirror with me when we left. Thought it might be useful. Ever the thief. Indeed. I used it to call Baya. I asked her to tell the Mari Morgan to come to Boreas. Fable mentioned she can teleport via plants, however that works. She can. You should try it out. It's nauseating. I think we'll pass. While I went to talk to the Banshee, Kumo picked up the Mari Morgan. She and I really connected on eyeliner techniques. When we arrived at the lagoon, they were immediately ready to claw at each other's throats. And not in a fun way. But somehow we managed to convince them to sit down. We tried to get them to talk about their feelings, but they just kept talking past and over and away from each other, arguing about an issue that didn't exist. So I had this crazy idea. I took out my new lute and asked them if they wanted to write a song together. They declined and insisted their voices would clash, but I thought at the very least it would stop them from arguing. Kumo helped me convince them by summoning tiny rain clouds pitter-pattering into gentle, melodic rhythm, to inspire them to give it a try. We asked them to put all of their emotions about the whole situation into a song. In the end, they harmonized together perfectly, like their voices were made for each other and the gentle hum of my lute. It was beautiful. And a little bone-shattering, but very romantic. Most importantly, the song finally got them to understand each other. Like Kumo had suspected, the Mari Morgan was scared, not jealous, now that the Banshee was so popular. She feared that the Banshee would become really busy with visiting tourists all the time. She assumed she wouldn't have time for her anymore. But the Banshee assured her she doesn't care about any of the tourists, only about the Mari Morgan. And Baya, of course. We told them to talk to her, too, and mentioned how much she had been missing them. They agreed to meet for a tea party in the Ashen Grove, so Baya doesn't have to travel too far. Did you invite them to your barbecue? No. After the outpouring of emotions, they wanted some time for themselves. The quest was done. It had only taken us 2 days, which was really efficient. Unfortunately, we had told the ship to pick us up in 3 days, so we were trapped on the island. So you swam back? What? No. What's wrong with you? The usual. We started brainstorming about what we could do while we waited. So I asked about that cheesecake recipe, but then I realized there wasn't anywhere to bake it. They don't have any taverns on Boreas. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't. Somewhere on the island there had to be something to bake a cheesecake in. Did you find that something? We did, but it turned into its own small quest. First, we had to find the right place for our little adventure. We met these lovely gnomes living in their little mushroom houses, and they offered to let us use their ovens. But they were too small, so they introduced us to the local toadhill giant. Its kitchen was enormous, but it was easier to work in than the one that was too small. Then the gnomes, the nymph, and the giant helped us gather ingredients from all across the island. So we were able to make enough cheesecake for everybody. I burned mine a bit. But when we made the second batch to the ship's crew, they were already starting to turn out better. Kumo is a really good teacher. And you're a really good student. Thank you. The cake really lifted the crew's spirits on the journey back. We agreed to teach them a recipe once we hit land. Afterwards, they invited us to the captain's birthday party. They even introduced us to a traveling obelisk who sang us a song of the ancients. It showed us a shortcut through the Rhyolus mountain range where we met some flaming songbirds. And now you're here. And now we're here. Well, I'm glad you came back. Of course we did. I promised a good story. And you delivered tenfold. Where are you two going next? I should probably talk to Melina. She was pretty mad when I left. I guess I should apologize while I still can. Good idea. Do you want me to come with you? No, I think I need to do this alone, or rather, with her. And I have to check in on Rufus, too. Maybe Hex taught her some fun magic tricks in the meantime. You left her with Hex? And with Grace? Don't worry, nothing was set on fire. I should go. But before I go, do you maybe want to do something together later today or tomorrow? Like a thing? Oh, like hanging out together? We could play charades with the werewolves. I think he meant hanging out as in a date. Did you? Maybe I did. Oh! Okay! That sounds really fun. Cool. I'll pick you up, or I'll see you around, or whatever. I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it. Me too. Oh, he's just melting, just bit by bit. He asked me on a date. He did. That's... what? What do I do now? Do you think Archie has books on dating? Or should I ask the Hydra for advice? It probably knows about dating, right? Archie is still on his quest. Also, I'm right here. You're right. What should I do? Just go. See where it takes you. Or where he takes you. Hopefully somewhere nice. I do feel safe with him, so maybe I should try trusting this more. Mostly, I think you should just be honest with him. He seems to like you for who you are, so there's no need to hide. That's the scary thing. Why does he feel that way? Because you are very lovely? People keep saying that. But sometimes I just feel a lot lovelier hiding, you know? To me, it sounds like perhaps it's a bit too late for that. Sorry for listening in. You two were just very sweet. It's okay. I also thought it was very sweet. He was very sweet. But now that he's gone, I have time to think again. And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be that type of sweet anymore. Maybe he was just being nice? He asked you on a date because he was just being nice? That's not how that works, Fable. Well, maybe he felt bad for me or something? Innkeeper dear, I think Fable might be in need of another drink. Maybe something to untangle their thoughts. Something for a quick escape from all this overthinking. That sounds good. I'll see what I can do. Alright. Man, I don't... Just gonna make her another Swift Strike, okay? I guess. Thunder Sage. Oh! I forgot to put the recipe up. Oh, nope. Can't do that. Does this help? Very much so. Thank you. I feel like now I can uncurl the yarn ball that is my brain. What do you think I should do? What do you want to do? I want to go on a date. And I want to get to know him better. Maybe even get him to know me better too. Do you think he would like that? I think so, yes. It seems like you don't need our answers. You have yours already. Sometimes I just feel like I need permission to listen to my heart. Did you know? You can give that permission to yourself. I forget that every time. But I know you're right. I think I know what I want to do. Or I think I know what to do. I think I know what to do now. Somewhat. But I'll figure the rest out. Thank you for listening to me. I think sometimes that's really all I need when I'm scared. Our third bit about Fable. When, with their budding faith in themselves, they are beginning to enjoy new things instead of being terrified of them. They're learning how to play an instrument, performing songs, and actually letting people close. This process will still take some time, but they've come a long way already. There's nothing wrong with being scared, as long as you don't run from the things that make you happy. Yeah, Grace! You're right. It took me a while to realize that. Running is so easy, you know. You always know where to go. Away. But staying, you have to actually look at yourself, figure out what your part is and everything. That can be a lot. But when I was on the journey back from Boreas, Dancing with Kumo to the music of the navigator's fiddle? Thinking about how I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't put myself out there? I realized that life is so much more than a constant game of hide and seek from the things that truly mean something. And I decided to stop running from life, even if I'm scared. I want to do my best to face my problems. Even though it's terrifying, I know that I'm not alone. Is this still about Kumo? No, he was never a problem. He's one of the reasons I'm not alone. Just like you. With good friends by my side, I can do anything. And I can't wait to see what you will do. It might not be as impressive as you hope, but it will be me, and I'm excited about that. Me too. I'm really proud of you, Fable. Thank you for everything, especially the great advice. That was really great advice. Maybe you should take some of it too, Grace. Maybe you should. But we all conquer life at our own pace. My personal next Goliath is going to be reapplying my lip gloss. And maybe some blush. I do feel a little pale. Can I borrow a mirror for a bit, Earringkeeper? Of course. There are some free rooms and mirrors upstairs, right next to the acorn chimes. Just ignore the doors with the do not enter signs. You shouldn't have said that. Now I want to check. Please don't. I won't. I'm polite. Or am I? Let's hope she won't find all the nightmare creatures you have locked up there. Have you ever visited the Twilight Chasm? Not for long enough to capture any creatures. I see. What are you thinking about, Innkeeper? Oh, you know, innkeeper things. I don't know, I mean, since I'm not an innkeeper and all. Right. That song you mentioned, the one you started writing on the ship. I know it's not done yet, but how about a little sneak peek? To see if it would make for a good jingle. I don't think it's jingle material, but I don't mind sharing it with you. Just keep in mind that it's a work in progress. Of course. There's a calling on the wind beneath the talk of the keep. I've heard the tales, set the sails, now it's time for me to leave. That sounds like a great opener. So you like it? It's wonderful. I can't wait to hear more. Me too. But it's still a little rough around the edges. I feel like it's missing something. Maybe the next adventure. Maybe. Will you let me know when it's done? Of course. I can't wait to show you the finished version. Thank you, Fable. I'm proud of you. For maybe finally finishing a song? For not running. Oh, thank you. Me too. Innkeeper, do you ever think about taking your own advice? All the time, yes. Why don't you? I don't know. It's hard, I know, but I promise I believe in you as much as you believe in me, and I know we'll both be okay. I would like that. Me too. Well, I've talked a lot today. I'll give you some space. Maybe it's time to stop running. Should I... Is it time to read that letter? Yes! Oh, that was easy. I guess I've been wanting to for a while. Let's hope for no regrets. My dearest friend, long has it been since we last talked. Long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. I wish I could still remember our last conversation, but it's waning memory. I can only imagine how you enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did for a brief moment for these 30 years. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good old times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of the century, the last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon, where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. Are there any spirits you like to remember? Are you afraid of what they might tell you? Worry not. I'll be right there. Watch the sky closely on the 35th of Cassiopeia. See you soon, an old friend. That's not ominous at all. That was... I guess you've always been a fan of symbolism. But you didn't even leave an address. Very responsible. Fuck. Pardon? No time. Duck! Now! What's going on? Are you okay? Do you need help? Healing? Something's coming. Something big. Your next show? What? No! There's no time! Duck! Is the ground? I appear to be underwater. Is everyone alright? Phew! That's a close call. Could have been really dangerous. Hey, sexy demon man. What just happened? Why is there water outside the tavern? I'd also like to know the answer to that question. I've got no clue. I was just outside by the woods drafting my newest song when the ground beneath my feet began to rumble. Not even a minute passed and it rumbled again. Then a wall of water came rushing towards me. I didn't even dare to wait. I ran immediately looking for shelter. No way was I going to let my hagum get wet. These strings are made of real Chabian silk, and the body's ethereal bamboo. It's a rarity. That's the first thing going through your mind with a giant wave rushing right at you? Of course, this instrument is just as valuable as my hands. Aw, thanks, Leo, for the resubscribe. I really appreciate you. Mwah. 6 months. Everybody who is subscribed, don't forget you can use your emoticons. And just as versatile. Is everyone alright? Grace! Dragons, you're alright. I was worried something had happened to you. Oh, don't worry. When the walls started rumbling, I hid under a table, and then I watched the water rush by the window. It was like a tsunami, but tsunamis are very rare, if not impossible, so far into the mainland. Right. It's so strange. Everything seems to be submerged out there. I wonder what could cause such a cataclysm. It's worrying, to say the least. And it's definitely too dangerous to go outside. Even the tavern is leaking. Don't worry, it'll withstand. Are you sure about that? There's drips everywhere, and there's only a crack in that window. Are you sure? I'm sure. I've gotten through worse than this. You? It's gotten through worse than this. Wouldn't have thought it could withstand this sort of thing, but even more so glad it can. Seemed to be a simple yet very sturdy tavern after all. Just like you, Ingiba. Are you flirting with the innkeeper? Yes, he does that. Pah, me? No. Also, that's beside the point. Is it? Unless... I like to work my body. Helps in a lot of aspects. He can't take it when somebody hands it back to him. It's so good. Can we get back to the point, please? Somebody's jealous. Yeah, sure. The point. Right. Back to the point. Did you see exactly what happened? Not really. I was listening to the whistle of the wind in the treetop, jotting down notes for my next song, when suddenly a horde of silver-crested deer rushed past me. Before they could trample over me, I jumped up on the rock I was sitting on and watched them gallop downhill. Then I saw water break through the canopies, snapping trees in half like they were shishik skewers. I wasted no second. I turned on my heel, knowing I'd be done for if I waited just a moment longer. Then I was here and told you to duck. That sounds horrible. Are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, thanks. And anyways, with whom do I have the pleasure? I'm Grace. Nice to meet you, Grace. Oh my, you're Voyage, aren't you? The silver-tongued virtuoso. Yes, that would be me. My apologies. I didn't mean to push any boundaries. But I saw you perform at Dropstone Institute's campus that one time. And I must say, you pulled on all of my heartstrings with your beautiful performance. Oh. I did that? Oh. Yes, I was awestruck by what your music could do. It was like magic in its very own way. Music can be very soothing in moments of distress. Were you distressed back then? A little. I don't remember exactly why anymore, but I remember the emotion. But not more distressed than I am right now. I hope Hex is safe and well. I'm sure he is. I think he's making a joke about this guy being, so flirtatious. Shoot, did you see that creature swim by? No, I actually missed it. Shit. What? Where? It looked like a red-winged eel. Oh? Haven't seen one of those in ages. Where is its natural habitat? Actually, the Twilight Chasm? Why is it here? Something isn't right. I'm afraid you might be correct. I'm also afraid. Very much so. I don't think it's safe to go outside. Of course not. You should all stay for the night. Would that be possible? Of course. The tavern will withstand this. And a bit of company wouldn't hurt. I agree. Thank you, innkeeper. Say, you with the lute. What's your name? Fable. My name is Fable. Do you play? The lute, I mean. Oh, okay. Sometimes. I'm still practicing and not all that good with it yet. How about we play together? A song or two to lift our spirits and wait out the catastrophe going on outside. It's very untuned. It goes out of tune really quickly, but I guess that's a lute thing. I gotcha. Show it to me. I'll help you, and then we'll jam until a new dawn arises. More character info for Voy. Even though he's charismatic, he's surprisingly bad with people, as well as reading between the lines. Despite being self-conscious about his skills, he still chose to play songs together with Fable after the flood to lift everyone's spirits. He's also got a hegum made out of ethereal bamboo and Shibian silk. Blub blub. Sleep with the fishes. Yeah, Fable is a very good being. Fable is a they, them, and a very good being. And they got Aura / Kumo now to melt. Well, I'm sure that's safe, guys. It looks totally fine. I feel bad for the bird up on the roof. That's his birdhouse down there underwater, I'm pretty sure. I hope he didn't have any babies. I don't think this is that kind of game, but I'm still, I feel bad. This is fine. How did you get here? Grace? Is Grace here? Good mythical morning to you too, Hex. This isn't funny, innkeeper. Tell me, is she here? Please tell me she's here. She is. I'll let her know you are too. Thank you. By the dragons, I was worried sick. So sick. This is not that kind of game, Ducky. She'll be happy to know you're safe and sound too. The flood was enormous, and if she had gotten caught up in it... Oh, no, no, no. I don't even want to begin to imagine. Then don't. How about a drink to calm your nerves? Yes. A drink sounds great. Something that will untangle my thoughts and help me focus. I'll see what I can do. Brain. All right. One. Thunder stage. Hydrate. Sippy sippies. Maybe this will help clear your mind. It does, at least a little bit. Thank you, innkeeper. Hex, good to see you safe and well. You too! Where have you been? Are you alright? Did you get hurt? I'm fine. The innkeeper and yesterday's superstars took good care of me. Just as you took good care of us. The least we could have done was be there for each other. How have you been, brother dear? Did you get hurt? No, but I was worried about you. The whole night locked in that damn house, all I could think about was how the flood might have... Why didn't you tell me you were going to the tavern? I looked everywhere for you. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I needed your permission to go outside. That's not what I'm trying to say. Then what are you trying to say? That you could have gotten hurt and I wouldn't have known. Are they twins? Are they both 80, 40, 42? Heck. Oh, he's 6 years older than her. I don't expect a tsunami to hit Gaia every day. This wasn't in the foreseeable future, Hex. Uncontrollable things happen, and when they do, we do our best to overcome them. Also, I can protect myself quite well. Still, how was I supposed to know that you were safe? I'm an adult, you know. You could try trusting in my capabilities. Furthermore, PSAOR was very useful last semester. PSAOR? Protective sigils and other remedies. Ah. Also, the tavern itself is well protected by my own brand of sigils. That's at least something. Yes, I'm very thankful the innkeeper and her tavern kept me safe. I didn't mean to worry you. I didn't plan on being gone for so long, but then the flood happened. Okay, sure. How have you been holding up? Is the house alright? Apart from some minor damage and some leakage in the roof, I suppose it's fine. I wasn't even aware of the approaching flood until the house's foundations started trembling. I was busy in my workshop harvesting the essence of Dimension 567 for my research. I hope you didn't rip a hole in the fiber of magic again. I didn't, and even if I did, you couldn't have stopped me. You weren't there, after all. Right. But I can scold you now. You won't want to when you find out what I accidentally managed to harvest. Something. You did? That's amazing. What a huge breakthrough. That would mean I created a teeny tiny rift to the astral realm and got my hands on some stardust. Well, sort of. How? I got an astral shard when the stars fell. Ah, I see. There's still the issue of never knowing exactly what might come through when you open those kind of rifts. Could be anything or anyone. Like creatures. For example. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, it wouldn't. Because when your sister disappears again, you wouldn't know if she got ate by a creature or just out for a stroll. Hex, cut it out. What? We get it, alright? I went away, you were worried. We get it. But I'm my own person, and I can do what I like. I'm getting tired of this. Well, me too. Then stop. I don't want to fight. Then don't. Sorry. It's fine. We shouldn't spend our time fighting when there are so many more interesting things going on. How about a wee bit of a distraction? Oh, we could go outside and see if we can take samples of floodwater. Exactly. Who knows? Maybe it holds spectacular and rare magical properties. That sounds lit. Maybe it'll help me finish my long-term research paper. Possibly. Though, to access the primordial vortex, you'd need primordial seawater. I know. But who knows what we'll find. Don't forget to fill me in on your research. Theoretically, I'd tell you anything. Or theopractically, I'd tell you anything. But only theopractically. Wouldn't have expected anything else. Thank you, Innkeeper, for hosting me for the night and all. See you soon. He loves his sister dearly, but their relationship seems strange. He praises and adores her, and he's very worried about possibly losing her. At the same time, he's always risking his life looking for thrilling and dangerous spells with no concern for his own health. Okay, who showed up? Oh. Good morning, you two. Did you sleep well? Oh, this game is Tavern Talk. Tavern Talk is a visual novel game where you play an innkeeper, and the drinks you make and the choices you make can actually influence the way the game plays out. I really enjoy it. And I've given most of the characters' voices, and I somewhat successfully remember their voices from stream to stream. Good morning, you two. Did you sleep well? As well as we could, with that sweet song of stormy waves pattering against our windows. So, very well, and with inspiring dreams. Glad to hear that. Your impromptu concert certainly helped me sleep. Because it was so boring? No, because it calmed my nerves. All of our nerves, I think. Not that I have any, of course. You don't have nerves? Is that a phantasm thing? No, I mean those metaphorical nerves? Oh, you get these too? No, of course not. I'm void. Well, yeah, sometimes. Mostly when I have to perform. Isn't that embarrassing? Not really. That'd also make me nervous. Oh, though, I have to say, last night, performing with you for Grace and the Innkeeper, it was kind of relaxing. I could just lose myself in the performance without having to worry about what anyone would think of me. Not that I ever do, but it was nice. We should make more music together sometime. Actually, Fable just got started on a new song. Maybe you can collaborate. Really? That would be awesome. Well, yes, you're right. That would be awesome. I think working on it together could be fun. Shh. Yeah! Oh, sorry. Hooray! I'm looking forward to our grand collaboration. And charming you with it, Innkeeper. All right. You're supposed to say you're also looking forward to it. I am very much looking forward to it. That's what I thought. Aren't we going to be cool together? The coolest. Too cool for me to describe. I already know we'll blow you away. I'm counting on it. Enough chit-chat. I should check up on the village. Maybe someone needs a good song to cheer them up. I'm sure Bio would love one. I think Baya was probably cheered up by a good flood. But speaking of her, maybe you can hand out some of her spa coupons for me? Sure thing. Her spa rocks. I shall start by enlightening Grace. Is she still here? No, she just left, together with Hex. Something about primordial water. Those wizards. I'll try to catch up to them. See you soon. Don't finish the song without me, Fable. I'll wait for you. Can I get one of those coupons? Sure you can. Just make sure to tell Baya I sent you. Of course. What a strange morning. Or exciting morning? Both, I think. Would you like a morning drink? Please. Every time. Fable. You gotta get some different tastes, lady. A drink with 0 primordial water. Maybe. It does taste a little primordial and very delicious. Perfect. You know, last night when I couldn't sleep, I was watching the fish swimming by the windows. Their scales kept reflecting on the water, making them shift and shimmer like they almost weren't there. I was mesmerized by them. It was like a dream that kept pulling me towards the waves. It was beautiful and haunting. Do you think it looks like that every day somewhere? That beautiful? That haunting? I think any place we can imagine exists somewhere, if only in our heads. I'd like to see all of those places. I don't think they're all safe to see. Fable! By the dragons, they're here! Are you alright? I am. The innkeep kept me safe. It's good to see you both are well, too. I love how the water doesn't look like it's gone down, but apparently now we can leave. And come in. Couldn't you have let us know you were breathing? We couldn't find you anywhere. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Were you guys worried about me? Maybe. Of course we were. Don't even know if you can swim. I can. Can you? Of course. No. Oh, we should teach you sometime. Sure. Only Fable would be allowed to say that. Thank you for worrying about me, but I actually had a pretty nice night. Voy and I gave Grace and the innkeeper a small concert while we were all stuck inside. Oh, sad that we missed that. Ooh, is someone jealous? I can track down Void to give you guys an encore. That'd be nice. I'm sorry I didn't get around to picking you up. It's okay. I bet the roads were a bit busy. Yeah, it was a little tough getting out. Rufus loved it, though. Think he made some new friends. Seems like this catastrophe had a few pleasant side effects. What happened anyways? Did a whale eat a moon this time? No idea what that's supposed to mean, but no. Or maybe. No idea how it happened. They say the primordial sea flooded the Twilight Chasm. And it all spilled out through its portals into Phasia, leaving us with this mess. That's new. At least the other continents probably got through it without much trouble. For once, they can be less jealous of our portals. I do hope everyone is okay. Oh, stretch. Oh, stretch. Oh, stretch. No, Artemis, not you. I mean, you can stretch if you want to. Everyone we could check on is. Luckily for us, the water's drained enough to rescue everyone around here. Though I heard that underwater hasn't emerged yet. Happy to see you all emerged. Mostly. What does that mean? Are you still looking for someone? Yes. I was wondering if Melly is here? She wasn't home when I checked on her. No, she didn't stop by yesterday, nor today. Did you see her before that? Did she say where she'd be going? I'm afraid she hasn't been in since you returned from Zufford. That wizard punk hasn't seen her either. Took a second to ask him when he almost broke down Kumo's door looking for Grace. Do we know if she can swim? I'm sure she can, and I'm sure she's just taking shelter elsewhere. You taught her how to hide well, after all. Maybe she's just putting that to good use. When I returned yesterday, I found Rufus eating out of a strange apparatus that dispenses food and water every couple of hours. Like someone really smart set it up for him in their absence? Yes, he was gorging himself on the food, but Melly was nowhere to be found. Oh, that's worrying. Did she leave a note? No. I want to say I'm sure she's okay, but honestly, I'd be worried. Maybe ask Jade for help? She's very good at finding things. I shall investigate that avenue right now. Fable, would you be okay with moving our time? Time? You got an appointment or something? More like a date. Can't wait for that story. I'll tell you later. But, yes, we should move it. This isn't the kind of dancing in the rain I was hoping for. Me neither. Another time then? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I hope she didn't try to investigate the fish. They'd eat her alive. Sounds a little more hopeful. The girl's savvy. I mean, look at that contraption she left behind. Ain't no fish got a chance against her. Being hopeful isn't really my thing. Then make it your thing. I'll let you know when I find her. Such a man of few words. Man of words. He's just worried. Uh-huh. Speaking of worries and words, Care, it's good to finally see you back. How was the escorting? I hope you didn't get too wet. It happened. How did it happen? Well, actually, this can wait a bit, right? Yes. Thanks for understanding. I'll be back later, once I can think more clearly. I'd like to check up on Uncle Dragon, make sure that old fart is still up and running. Fable, I'm guessing you'd like to check in with your family too? Yes, I would love to make sure everyone's alright. Maybe Melly's with the Amaranthian Hydra. She really wanted to ask it for tea recommendations. I'm counting on you returning with a good story. Don't get too excited. I'll see if I can drag Ray and Fancy Pants along as well. I think they could use a drink. Speaking of which, got one for the road? Sure thing. Something strong to get you through all that socializing? You got it. 3 strength. I think we're gonna go with Sally's courage. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Here, the strongest thing I could route for you. Thanks. Miss these drinks. A little. Oh, that's sweet. Don't dwell on it. Anyway, Fable, let's go. I'll be right there. I'm sure everybody will be okay, Innkeeper, so don't you worry about it. And make sure to keep a hot chocolate one for Melly. I'm sure she'd love one of those. I'll give it my best. I know you will. Don't swim out too far. We'll see. The waters are dangerous these days. Just what are you up to? Time to make sure I have enough ingredients for a hot chocolate around, I guess. Good to see that you're open, Innkeep. And a good evening to you. Oh, and a good evening to you too, Una. Ha! Spare me the babbling. Though I'm glad you seem to be unharmed. I am, thanks to some protective spells I put on the inn a while back. Works better than any insurance. What about you? Are you unharmed? I'm as good as new. Might be missing an arm, but that doesn't mean I forgot how to swim. I would hope so, you're a fish person. It's easier than walking, actually. And breathing in water instead of air was unexpectedly nice. These gills aren't just for decorative purposes, you know. Felt a little bit like home, you know? But the water tasted different than that of the astral sea. More primordial, I might even say. Treats for Artemis? Yeah, you heard me. Here you go. High five. Shake. Pretty. Pretty. Good girl. Good girl. You're such a good girl. You're a pretty baby. Yeah, I figured. But you don't seem to be very worried about it. Nah, whatever happens is none of my business now. I'm retired, and water also doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother you too much either, am I right? Since you're so close to... I knew you wouldn't forget. I might be old, but I'm not senile. Me neither. So you wouldn't call the primordial sea your home, then? I've inhabited a few planes already. My past doesn't really define the word home for me anymore. But you're right, primordial water doesn't do any harm to me. Even if I wanted to drown in it, I wouldn't be able to. But honestly, I was more worried about my patrons and the inn itself. I hope everyone is safe and well. Wouldn't worry too much about all your regulars. Adventurers are tough folk, and your drinks toughen them up even further. I have faith that you're right. But your tavern... Well, let's just say it has definitely seen better days. Nah, that's kind of an understatement. It looks like shit. Ouch. I've been working the whole day to clean up as much as I can. My condolences. Say, have you ever talked to the Wizard of Moria? Moria? No, sadly I haven't had the pleasure. Oh, you should if you get the chance. He's always loved all kinds of spells and enchantments. More of the kind involving trickery, like puzzles and traps, but I'm sure he also knows a protective spell or two. I mean, he's been protecting his wizard tower for quite some time now. I'll keep that in mind if I ever get to meet him, but I suppose you're not here to just talk. How about a drink? Ah, you definitely have a way with customer service. How about a drink that'll wake my old muscles up so I can help you tidy up your tavern afterwards? I can't quite remember having asked for help. Ah, what's that? My old ears suddenly can't understand what you're saying. How unfortunate. Maybe a strong drink would help. All right, coming up. Speed would help. Good boy, Andu. There you go. A drink powerful like the astral sea. Wonderful! I consumed enough primordial water to last me for weeks! And it doesn't taste exactly like home, but the hint of elemental magic revives some old memories. I gotta say, you definitely know your craft. Thank you. Could I maybe convince you to just relax and let me do my work? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Forget it. Let's clean this messy tavern. If you insist. Before I forget, all that water swept some animal remains into my pocket. Don't really know where they came from, and I don't feel any kind of astral energy coming from them, so I assume they're either Gaian or primordial. And before I stab myself with them while cleaning, I wanted to check if you'd have any use for them. Stab? Yeah, they're surprisingly sharp.
Charge.
Now I'm curious. Let me see. Ha, you're so easy. Thank you, Una. They may not be primordial, but I think I know just what to do with them. Unlocked Saberfang. Saberfang tips are from the special fangs of the Colossus saber-toothed tigers from the Forbidden Valley. They lose them bi-yearly and regrow them at remarkable speeds. Adds haste, gives speed and strength, loses charisma. I'm gonna spice up some drinks. Oh! Thank you! I appreciate the bits. Bits don't happen very often in my stream. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna spice up some drinks? Maybe. Can't wait to try them then. And now, let's spice up this old rusty tavern. Character information on Una. Since she's been around for a while, she has witnessed many things younger folks haven't. Mere harbingers of global calamity couldn't shake her, but maybe that's just the astral sea mentality. She'd also never get involved in helping or figuring out what happened. Absolutely not. Because she was retired. Duh. Distract and run. What was that? Achievement. Oh, I'll have to look later. Welcome back to my tavern, brave adventurers. Good to see you're all unharmed and doing... well? At least we didn't drown. Scottish. At least we didn't drown. By the way, who's that granny on your porch? No, Scottish. No. I'll have you know. By the way, who's that granny on your porch? I can't get this one right. Scottish, she's female. I'll have you know. Nope. Why can't I get it? I can't pull it up in my head. By the way, no. It's gonna drive me crazy. By the way, who's that granny on your porch? Looks like she's collecting driftwood. Don't mind her. She's an old friend of mine with some weird habits. She wanted to help tidy up my tavern after the flood. That's kind of nice, actually. I suppose so. I couldn't convince her to let me do it alone. Did the flood hit you as well? You bet. Had to hold on to Rhea for a quick second there, or else she would have been swept away like a twig. Ah, how'd you beast? We had just passed Themis when it happened. Luckily, there were 2 carriages nearby, wedged between sturdy trees and a large boulder. We managed to pull ourselves out of the raging waters and into these carriages. Thank the dragons! It could have gone south real quick. And your tavern looks a wee bit wet as well. It is. I've been working non-stop to clean it up. That's not good. Working non-stop? Comes with being self-employed, I get. No, I mean the flood. Never heard of a flood that massive. It spread all the way from Themis to Zemeth. You're right. We certainly aren't that close to the sea. Themis, maybe, but not your inn. It's not quite right, but it's all still very recent. We'll have to wait until we know the true extent of it. But what about your mission? Did you complete it before the flood started? Come to think of it, Archie, you've been awfully quiet today. That's very unlike the noble hero I know. Give her a break, would you? We had some pretty rough nights. Oh, did something go wrong? The drink you prepared for us, with those golden feathers? I remember. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. But it wasn't enough! Don't know if another potion could have changed our fate, though. Oh my god, why can't I get this right? Don't know if another potion would have changed our fate, though. Don't know. I got it right for like 2 lines, and now I'm messed up again. Night-night. I'm just gonna go. Un momento. Por favor. Oh. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Gonna mute. Give me what. Okay, I give up. I can't figure this out. Don't know if another potion could have changed our fate, though. What happened? I guess I'm telling the story then. Let's begin. We actually would have been well prepared if this had been a normal escorting mission, that is. It all started with just like a regular quest. We met our client in his temporary abode, which looked like it was worth more money than Kara and I will ever make in our lives. Combined. Correct. Anyways, our client's name was Theodore. Theodore Hugo Frederick Sinclair III, to be exact. He told us politely not to call him by his full name, so we agreed on Theodore. He's the noble son of some wealthy diplomat, hence the long name. I figured. And you had to get him to Duria because of some financial conflicts between them and the mainland? Correct. This is the first time they may have failed a quest using my potions, and I'm like, did I make the wrong choice? But I have been consistently going for the non-combat option. At first, everything went surprisingly well. Since the magical bridge got destroyed, we had to get to Duria by ship. Because of the dispute, no ships from the mainland are allowed to dock in Amasa, so we had to take the long way. From the port of Windmore into the Windy Meadows to Twinborough, and then to Amasa by foot. All with the old nobleman that rarely strays from home. Kid had some quirks and mannerisms neither of us were familiar with. But luckily, Archie here was able to help us out. I tend to be a little wary around rich people, but we actually got along quite well. Especially little Archie here was hanging on his every word. We didn't take the main road to avoid too much unwanted attention. Moving quickly through the Darien tundra, we only encountered a few obstacles, like tree trunks. Ray and I kept the path clear while Archie entertained our client. He was quite useful after all, even though it was his first quest. He definitely knew how to tell stories and keep us entertained. Theodore loved every tale Archie told. Yeah, seems like you're natural-born storyteller. You also have a surprising amount of knowledge about plants and stuff in that orange head of yours. I'm glad I could be of help. Theo rarely went outside, so I assisted him with my knowledge of plants that sting, or those with poison. That's a very helpful skill. Everything went as planned, until the sun started setting. I think my ears picked it up first. They were like a bunch of low humming sounds, far away still, but definitely unusual. Didn't hear anything, but I'd always trust the fluffy ears of a Vukaki over mine. I asked the two boys if those types of sounds were common around there, but they both denied it. That's when I started getting this weird feeling in my guts. Every experienced adventurer develops that sooner or later. It's like a sixth sense to keep ye out of trouble. I know what you're talking about. That looming feeling deep within your stomach. I knew something was wrong. And if we didn't get out of there, our situation would only get worse. At first I just told Rhea, didn't want to alarm the two boys. Your client should never be afraid, that's just bad customer service. Agreed, so we quietly tried to figure out what to do. But by then I could also faintly hear the deep sounds. But if I could hear them, Archie and Theodore could as well. And they also heard us talking. That's unfortunate. We agreed on positioning the two boys between us, even though Archie proclaimed he could fight as well. A simple but efficient lineup. Me at the back of the line, Kara in the front, because she's got the best ears. Theodore was still calm. He said something along the lines of course they'd try and start an assault. That's why I hired you, remember? He's not wrong. I just would have expected more, the regular kind of assassin. Whatever that might be. If you'd let me continue, you'd get it. Sorry, my bad. To make things worse, it got real dark, real quick, and we could hear the guttural grunting all around us. She said, Bog and crap, where are they? Where are they coming from? But, well, at first I could only see one, then two. Then suddenly they were everywhere. Zombies! We were surrounded by zombies! I had to think fast. There weren't any gaps in their formation, so I knew we had to fight. Thanks to those enchanted feathers in your drink, I was able to quickly overpower 2 zombies by smashing their heads together. You're strong. I like strong women. I pushed both boys forward so they'd get moving. I knew if we wanted to get out of there in one piece, we needed to stay together. Kea was blocking attacks left and right, slicing through rotten skin and brittle bones with her greatsword. She was a sight to behold. My sword lended me its power to fight us through, but I would have needed more time to figure out a plan. There were just so many of them. I knew we had to get back to the main road. The terrain so deep in the forest was very uneven and made running away from a horde of the undead even more difficult. How did so many of them even get there? At least it was apparent why all those animals had disappeared on the road. They got eaten by the undead, and we'd be next if we didn't get the fuck out of there. So we ran. But turns out, a nobleman's clothes aren't made for running. They're made for nothing except looking obnoxious. They're not even that comfortable. I was more prepared than Theo, but even some of my seams ripped. I could hear Rhea behind us telling him to hurry up unless we wanted to die. So I wrapped my hand around Theo's velvet-coated wrist and just didn't let go. There was no way I would let anyone die on my first mission. But then, right before we got to the main road, he tripped. I suppose it was bound to happen. Rhea had somehow outrun us and was already stumbling onto the main road ahead. I tried to pull Theo up on his feet, but his pants must have gotten caught in some thorns, and he just couldn't get up. I tried to get him free. I really tried, but my hands were just so sweaty and shaky. I saw the zombies. I saw their running faces as they got closer and closer. I was too far ahead to realize what was going on, and when I finally noticed, it was too late. I knew getting to the road was a main priority, but when I got there and the 2 boys are missing, I knew something must have gone wrong. I turned around, and right as I did, I saw Archie and Theodore on the ground, a bunch of zombies getting real close to them. I warded off the first 2, maybe 3, but there were just so many of them. Then Theo screamed, the most horrifying scream, filled with pain and agony. I've read about that sort of scream before, but I didn't think it would sound so heartbreaking. Yes. That's when Rhea and Carolyn suddenly appeared next to us again. They pushed the zombies back and helped Theo get up. Well, as much as he could, with what was left of his left leg. I knew I had to come up with a plan. There were too many zombies for us to fight, and running away would have been difficult since Theo was hurt. But your drink was driving me forward, kind of like a drinkable Lucky Charm. I had already tricked a chimera into giving me its saliva, so I should have been able to handle a few undead and a hurt client with ease. You tricked a chimera? Sure did. You truly are full of wonders. Since fighting also wasn't a possibility this time, I thought maybe I could outsmart the undead. Theo was hurt, and he wasn't looking too good. The undead seemed to be drawn to the smell of his fresh blood. And thanks to your drink, I was still quite hasty. I knew I could outrun any dead fuckers. So on a whim, I turned back to the other 3. Rhea was trying to fight back dozens of monsters, while Archie supported Theodore. I grabbed a piece of bloody cloth that had been ripped off Theodore's leg. I don't know if they listened or if it was just the smell that drew them to me, but I yelled, "I'm here! Come and get y'all a fresh piece of meat!" I thought she'd gone crazy, I tell ya. But it was a smart move. I definitely had their attention. Archie was out of it, so I told Rhea to just follow the path to Amasa and treat Theodore's wounds as quickly as possible. I would catch up to them as soon as I was done there. And that's what we did. I don't argue with women that are taller and faster than me. Her quick thinking probably saved our asses. Good call, both of you. I led those brain-dead monsters into the opposite direction. Turns out, I could easily outrun them. But I wanted to get rid of them once and for all, or else we wouldn't have been safe for long. And as soon as I spotted a cliff between the trees with nothing but the vast sea further on, I knew what to do. I knew I had to override my instincts, so it was kind of dangerous. But I yelled one more time, "Come and get me if you can!" And then I threw the piece of cloth off the cliff. My instincts kicked in. wanting to play fetch. Luckily, my will was stronger than the monster's. One after another, they tried to catch the blood-drenched fabric and jumped, falling to their, well, hopefully final deaths. I can't believe that actually worked. Me neither. But otherwise, I wouldn't be standing here. I'm glad. Seems like the undead are kind of like pack animals, at least for the most part. A few of them didn't take the bait, but nothing my greatsword couldn't fix. I followed Ray and the boys' tracks until we met up again. We could already see the light Amasa in the distance. But we hadn't been fast enough. With every step, Theo's hand grasping my shoulder was getting weaker and weaker. I didn't even dare look at his face while I talked to him to keep him awake. Even when his answers started getting sparse and quiet. But you made it, right? Right? No, he didn't make it. Tell me that's not true. I wish it wasn't, but I'd never lie about someone's death. Especially not his. I'm so sorry, Archie. I didn't know the mission would be so dangerous. It's not your fault, Innkeeper. It's none of our faults either. Maybe I should have prepared a different drink for you. It's all right. We did our best. Things don't always go as planned. I guess life isn't as magically perfect as the numerous tales I've read would suggest. Bad things can happen to anyone, even those with the purest of hearts. Some may deserve it, but most don't. I just wish it hadn't been him. It's such a selfish thought, but I can't get it out of my head. And that's fine. It's just not fair! Why him? I apologize. I didn't mean to raise my voice like that. It's alright, kid. We know the pain you feel. You know, some deaths are inevitable. Illness, old age, whatever it may be. Those are easier to stomach, even if they still hurt. That's true. And then there are deaths which are completely unexpected. Those don't feel fair to us. They make us think, if only I did this, if I only said that, and so forth. But you mustn't dwell on those feelings. It's okay to mourn, but you can't change the past. The only thing you can change is the future. Live the life your friend would have wanted for you. Make him proud. I suppose you're right. What did you do then? Did you still go to Amasa? We did, yes. He must have died just before we arrived. Someone from the Night Watch recognized him. We are immediately surrounded by healers, but it was too late. You may bring bodies back from the dead, but not souls. After we explained the situation and how I got rid of the zombies, they offered for us to stay the night. We needed some rest before making our way back the next morning. I also sent a letter to Theo's family. I wanted to. After all, I've known them since I was a child, and I was with him in his last moments. If someone was going to deliver the bad news, it needed to be me. I'm not sure I could have acted so calm and collected. I really wasn't. Also, I don't know if this is perhaps too macabre, but would you hold on to something for me? Of course, what is it? It's the quill that I used to write the letter to Theo's parents. I must have lost my supplies somewhere on the way to Dyria, so I had to buy a new quill. First, I thought of it as a nice memento, but the wound is still too fresh. I'll hold on to it as long as you need me to. Thank you, Innkeeper. Where did it appear? I don't see it offhand. It must be somewhere that's blocked right now. Just what's going to happen now with the dispute between Daria and the mainland, now that a bastard has died on Darian soil? It's just such a big mess, and we didn't fix anything. We just made things worse. Anyway, I'm just so terribly tired. Please excuse me. Good night, everyone. You want to sleep here tonight? Sometimes a little company can do wonders, and you'll be safe from any potential floods. I'll also be sleeping here. I suppose you're right. Maybe I'll occupy one of your rooms then, dear innkeeper. Of course, go on upstairs. Third door on the left. Make yourself at home. I think I'll just sleep. But I appreciate your kindness. Thank you. Good night, everyone. I hope he'll be alright. Let the kid grieve. I guess asking either of you if you'd like a drink would be a little insensitive at this point. Don't. Got it. Instead, Kara, let's talk about your extraordinary fighting skills. Gotta say, I was really impressed with how you decimated those zombies. Takes a good beast slayer to know one. Nah, I'm more the general fighting type, you know? But I can always appreciate 2 strong hands, and such a well-crafted greatsword on top of it. Happy to see you appreciate solid craftsmanship. It was a gift from my Baba. She told me the great dragons themselves gifted it to her, but I don't know if that's true. Have you ever heard of the Great Axe of Ur? The most powerful weapon ever, forged by the origin of this world themselves? Ye bet! You think it really exists? I mean, my Baba loved to tell stories. But if her sword was made by the dragon, maybe her great axe is also more than just a myth. Dwarves have their origin in subterranean caves, you know, on the plane of Ur. I grew up in a labyrinth of caves, surrounded by gems and ores, legends, and tales. I mean, I haven't seen it with my own 2 eyes yet, but I'm convinced the legendary weapon exists. I bet it's so large, I probably wouldn't even be able to recognize it as an axe. I've heard Ur keeps it in their resting place at all times. Yeah, though so far no one has found that yet. And hopefully no one ever has to. What do you mean? You know the tale. If someone was to wake her up, the apocalypse would begin. But that's just an old tale, right? Something you tell kids who don't want to eat their food. You know, eat up or Ur will awaken? Questionable preparing techniques, if you ask me. Yeah, I got to hear that a few times when I was still a wee bairn. All these tales ever did was make me want to craft a legendary weapon myself. Have you ever made something like that? Not yet, but I will soon. I'll make the greatest weapon ever forged and smash this year's Orhart blacksmithing competition to bits. I'll outcraft my ex-husband with ease. That shit. Ex-husband? Yeah, we used to work together. Now he claims I wouldn't stand a chance without him, but I'll prove him wrong. Anyways, Care, I think it's getting quite late, and it's been an exhausting week. Absolutely agreed. Let's get some rest. And then look for another quest elsewhere to afford me crafting materials. Good night, you two. Since her marriage broke apart, Rhea has been determined to win a famous blacksmithing competition, perhaps to restore a bit of self-confidence or self-worth, but that may be a stretch. That's why she's always on the hunt for gold, fallen stars, or other rare and expensive materials. Good night, Care. Night, Innkeep. Oh, there's the quill. Feed Andu. Sweep the floors. And blow out the lights. Alright, so it's getting that time with my throat. This means it is time to call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I really appreciate you. And I hope you had a good night, even if it was a little sad tonight. And I will see you next time. Mwah!